Brittney Griner is a WNBA player who was arrested in Russia for violating drug law in that country. She was imprisoned for a relatively short time. She admitted guilt. The media became obsessed with Joe Biden getting her back. Even though Evan Gershkovich, Wall Street Journal reporter, still there. Media has covered it a lot. Paul Whelan was a Marine. He's still there. Brittney Griner was an obsession of the media because she was a black gay woman. And in the identity politics parade, being black and gay and a woman made her an incredibly potent part of Biden's overall coalition that won him the election in 2020. Can you even name, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't. Can you even name the 5 Americans who are still imprisoned in Gaza? I can't. These are innocent Jewish individuals who are American citizens that were kidnapped and have been held, probably in barbaric conditions, for nearly 7 months now. We can't name them. One of them, there was a proof of life video this week, and I'm going to name him because this is one of the times where I was sitting around and contemplating it, because otherwise I hadn't spent a lot of time thinking about it. How is it that we are in a situation where this individual, 5 of them, could all be in a position where they are hostages for 7 months? And I bet the 5 of them combined have gotten 1,000th of the amount of attention that we have seen for Brittney Griner. And I was thinking of it with what's going on in the situation that has occurred also in the 1980s when we had people who were basically caught by terrorists in our own embassy. How much attention did it get compared to 1980? Why is no one talking about them? The most recent one, by the way, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, is an American citizen born in Berkeley, lived in Virginia, and then in Israel. He was attending a music festival when he was kidnapped. There is a proof of life video, 3 minutes long, and he identifies himself as the son of Jonathan and Rachel. First time his parents have seen a video of him since he was kidnapped. Why do we not know the 5 American citizens still being held hostage? Why do we not all know their names and stories? And why have the 5 of them combined, who did absolutely nothing wrong, gotten, I bet, 1/1000th the attention of Brittney Griner, who admittedly violated Russian drug law when she was arrested? These 5 people are 100% innocent. They have done nothing at all wrong, and yet we don't know who they are, and the American media, including me, has given them almost no attention. I think it's a really great question. And unfortunately, I think it's a symptom of identity politics. They should have been black gay basketball players kidnapped. They would have been home by now. Brittney Griner got a front page New York Times Magazine profile piece. This is, to me, indicative of how broken media is. She is, according to their piece, a huge victim because she was arrested in Russia. But she broke Russian law. She's not a hero. The only reason she's getting profiled is because she's black and gay. If the New York Times actually cared about doing legitimate journalism, they would have a front page New York Times Magazine article on the 5 American hostages that are still being held by Hamas and how unbelievably difficult it has been for the 5 families' parents to have had their innocent kids held hostage now for over 6 months, despite the fact that they did absolutely nothing wrong at all. You can hope that Brittney Griner wouldn't go to prison in Russia while understanding that she broke the law and was an idiot and put herself in position to become a prisoner. Russia is holding the Wall Street Journal reporter. They say he did nothing wrong, the Wall Street Journal. They're holding Paul Whelan. He says he did nothing wrong, former Marine. Brittney Griner admits that she broke the law in Russia and was traveling with drugs. She was being an idiot. The only reason she got saved is because Biden's entire identity politics coalition demands that she be a victim because she was black and a woman, even when she wasn't a victim at all. She broke the law, and Russia was penalizing her. Meanwhile, there are 5 100% innocent, did nothing wrong prisoners, including one of them who had his arm blown off with a grenade, American citizens that are still being held hostage by Hamas, and no one will even talk about them because it requires acknowledging that Hamas is evil. And the left wing in this country doesn't want to acknowledge that Hamas is evil. So they make people like Brittney Griner, who aren't even victims, front page stories in the New York Times Sunday magazine. They put her on the cover, and they still won't even talk about the 5 actually innocent, 100% did nothing wrong, didn't violate anything other than being Jewish American citizens being held still by Hamas, probably underground, at least one of whom lost his arm in a grenade attack. The failure of the media to make this a story because it would make Joe Biden look bad and incompetent, even more so than he actually is, to me is indefensible. I wasn't alive for the 1980 president. Well, I guess I was a baby in the 1980 presidential campaign. But I know historically the media blamed Jimmy Carter every day for the hostages that were held in Iran, the Americans that Iran would not allow to leave. Why is almost no one in the media covering the 5 American hostages held by Hamas right now for over 6 months that Joe Biden can't get brought home? The answer is because it makes Biden look bad. But the fact that they're covering Brittney Griner, who Biden bent over backwards to get out of Russia, even traded the merchant of death for her because she was black and gay, and his identity politics coalition demanded that he go and get her freed even though she admitted to committing a crime. They won't even cover the 5 American hostages, to say nothing of Gersovich, the Wall Street Journal reporter who did nothing wrong, Paul Whelan, the former Marine who did nothing wrong. They're still being held in Russia. They just happen to be white guys. That's not good enough. I'm not even kidding about this. If Evan Gersovich, the Wall Street Journal reporter, were black, gay, and a woman, he would be free already. Biden would have gotten him out. Not even joking about that. He didn't even commit a crime. He's being held hostage. He would have already been out of Russian prison if he were black, female, and gay. Problem is, he's a white guy. Problem with these 5 Jewish hostages is they're being held and they're Jewish, and Joe Biden can't talk about them a lot because it would make Hamas look bad, and he needs Arab voters in Dearborn, Michigan to show up and vote for him, or else he's not going to win re-election.